Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming today to the College of Human Environmental Sciences HES Spring 2021 Awards Celebration. This is our culminating awards ceremony for the college. We have a lot of special awards and a packed agenda today, celebrating all those who have loved us, who have done great work in the last year, and those who loved us and share their passion and pride with the HES over the years. So I am going to kick it off very quickly by announcing and introducing Dr. Carrie McKee Black, who is an assistant teaching professor in TAM. Carrie?
Thank you, Dean Lohman. I appreciate it. I am here today to introduce the award winner for the new professional award. Raj Bahar is a graduate of the Textile and Apparel Management Department in 2012. He is near and dear to my heart, so this was a privilege for me to be able to nominate him for one and then introduce him as the award winner. So let me tell you a bit about Raj. I won't go into a lot of detail. I'll leave that for Raj to kind of give his personal story. But Raj is a Nike footwear material developer in Portland, Oregon, with 8 years of product creation experience in both apparel and footwear industry. Raj graduated from the University of Missouri with a degree in TAM in December 2012, and during his time at MU worked as an equipment manager with the Mizzou football team from 2009 to 2012. While he was serving as the equipment manager, his duties varied from day to day, but he ended up ultimately taking on the responsibility of handling the sewing, footwear, and testing duties for the athletes. He was extremely busy, highly coveted member of the team. During his time at MU, Raj was extremely passionate about working for Nike. It was really a very motivating factor for him. He was committed this was going to happen. And after graduation, Raj packed up and moved to Oregon to make that dream come true. Shortly after arriving, Raj secured a part-time job at the coveted Nike employee store, but he was working the graveyard shift, working retail, not what he had hoped that he would accomplish, but he stuck with it, kept persevering, kept reaching out to the folks at the headquarters of Nike, and eventually they offered him a temporary position on a 2-week project, creating material palettes for the Nike footwear design team. He did such an amazing job that they offered him a full-time position, and he was working in the Nike headquarters in 2013. Since then, he's held various roles with the product creation team at Nike, including material design, color, apparel materials development, and footwear materials development. More recently, Raj relocated back to the United States from Amsterdam, where he was working for 2 years on the Nike's Rapid product team, which is considered the express lane for Nike. This was a small team with only 15 people, and during the 2 years, the team increased the business nearly 5-fold, from $150 million in 2018 to $500 million in 2020. This accomplishment catapulted Nike's Rapid product team forward and laid the groundwork for more localized product teams. Nike has since established Rapid product teams in 6 other major cities around the globe based on the work that he and his team did. We are so proud of Raj and what he has accomplished in such a short time that he's been with Nike and since he graduated. We cannot wait to see all the amazing things that he accomplishes. Congratulations, Raj, on receiving the HES New Professional Award. It is well deserved.
Thank you so much, Dr. McBee. First, hello everyone. Thank you for this awesome award. I couldn't imagine receiving it from anyone else besides Dr. McBee and all the faculty at the HES school. I really just wanted to say a few quick things. I know we're on a tight schedule, but for me, HES has always been near and dear to my heart. I struggled quite a bit in my early time at the University of Missouri. I wasn't the ideal student. I wasn't, coming from high school with a lot of accolades or anything like that. There was a time when I actually failed out of the university. That was kind of a low point in my life. I didn't really know what direction to go in. I knew I had this idea in my head of really wanting to do something more. I had my sights set on working in product creation at Nike. And then I remember one day I sat down with the board at the University of Missouri and basically pleaded my case to let me back in. And luckily they let me back in. And, you know, Jamie Mestris, Dr. Jung, Dr. McBee, they were all right there with me throughout the entire process, you know, encouraging me, you know, keeping my head up. So, you know, if anything, this award is more a testament to them and the type of people they are, you know, not letting, you know, a student who may or may not have the potential, you know, never really giving up on them and keep pushing them no matter what. And it really turned, you know, not only my professional, you know, career into something really awesome, but it also turned my life around and gave me a newfound perspective on things. So really, I appreciate every person at the HES school. I can't wait to continue to be a part of the college and integrate, you know, Nike more into the college, because I know Mizzou, you know, we have a lot of talented, not only faculty, but a lot of talented students. So I really look forward to it. Thank you so much.
So well deserved, Raj. Thank you for those kind words. So I'm going to turn it over now to Dr. Ganong and Dr. Coleman to introduce the next award.
Yes, we're going to introduce the Citation of Merit Award to Dr. Catherine Cushinberry. Catherine has a marvelous record of using her doctorate in HES to make life better for others while working as an administrator in human services. Her career has focused on creating programs to improve the lives of children, adolescents, and families. Since graduating from Mizzou in 2004, Dr. Cushinberry has served as the executive director of a Boys and Girls Club in Tennessee, national director of research at Girls Inc., a youth organization, and the national executive director of Parents for Public Schools. She most recently served as executive director of City Year Memphis, a program that provides young adults from diverse backgrounds a demanding year of full-time community service. Catherine just recently began a new phase in her career as CEO of HopeLink, a Seattle nonprofit that is a $77 million organization with over 300 staff members serving nearly 65,000 families. HopeLink programs are designed to help individuals and families find stability in crisis by meeting basic needs for food, shelter, heat, and transportation. Dr. Cushinberry is an excellent example of a land-grant university alumna. She values research, she is a teacher, and her life and career have been about service. As a person, Catherine is courageous, strong, warm, funny, and loyal. Catherine has never hesitated to help her alma mater. For example, she recently agreed to mentor HDFS students thinking about social service careers, even though she was changing jobs and moving halfway across the country. Catherine is a human dynamo and a visionary leader in the field of social services for youth and families. We are very proud of her. Catherine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ganong and Dr. Coleman. It is my honor and pleasure to be here with all of you all today, and it is a humbling moment for me to receive this prestigious award. I also want to send a congratulations to the other awardees, my gratitude also to the committee. I am so grateful as a Memphian to have had the opportunity to meet Dr. Ganong very early before I even joined the program, and him telling me he knew a Cushinberry, which is rare. My name is very rare, but he knew a Cushinberry. And for Dr. Coleman to hang in there with me when I had to take the GRE a second time to make sure I had my numbers right. But they did not give up on me. They created an opportunity for me to grow and to evolve as a professional, and recognize very early that I was not the usual. I probably wasn't going to go into the academy. I was so interested in nonprofit management, and in their infinite wisdom, they connected me with Dr. Linda Jo Turner, who is on today. That connection changed my life. I had the opportunity to work with the Missouri State 4-H office and really get an understanding of what it means to work with someone who had such a strong vision as a leader, who had high expectations of excellence, but allowed us to sit in our humanity, that we weren't perfect. So Dr. Turner, I want to say thank you because along my career, I have seen you and you have supported me. And you have encouraged me, and you've written reference letters for me as well. So I'm forever grateful to you for the way you've modeled that leadership for me. To Dr. Coleman and Ganong, the ways in which you also exemplified excellence for me and high quality standard of work, it has shown up in my career. And so I take you with me as well. Mizzou offered me an opportunity, everyone, to meet such a stellar group of Black scholars during my time who now exist as part of my village. We regularly communicate via text and we encourage each other. I am an example of someone coming from a background where you don't have a lot of research knowledge and having to catch up very quickly, but also being a part of a village, small and large, where they see your potential, where they're creating connections so that you can grow and really exercise all of the gifts that you have. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Being a product of HES is something I'm extremely proud of. Being an alum of the college and the Department of HDFS, and also an alum of Mizzou, I carry that with extreme pride. I strut my stuff. I wear my Mizzou wear as well. I am extremely grateful. I'm honored. My life really is about supporting children, youth, and families. I'm very honed in on that. I'm very clear who I am as a leader. There are people who put their gifts and talents toward Arbor, God bless you. There are people who put their talents toward nature, to animals through the Humane Society, God bless you. But mine go fully to children, youth, and families. And I am grateful for the foundation around families and relationships that I received from this department. I stand on that. I'm grateful. Thank you to my family and friends who are joining us today. I'm so honored. Again, Dr. Coleman, Dr. Ganong, to the committee, thank you so much. And to my Black scholars who are still part of my village, thank you, because I am here also because of who you are to me. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm honored. Thank you.
I think I mentioned Catherine was a dynamo. I'd like to introduce our next nominator, Dr. Jung-Ha Brookshire, Chair of Textiles and Apparel Management.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ganong. I am honored here to present Dr. Catheya Hawley for the Citation of Merit Award this year. I don't have, her bio is just too long to read, so I'll do my best. Dr. Hawley is currently the Dean of College of Merchandising, Hospitality, and Tourism at the University of North Texas. In addition to being a leader in the major college at the University of North Texas, she had an excellent career since her PhD in TAM. She was the director of John and Doris Norton School of Family and Consumer Sciences at the University of Arizona, served as a department chair of the TAM at Mizzou, as well as the department head of apparel, textile, and interior design at Kansas State. She's a Fulbright Scholar to India, HES Fellow, Southeast SEC Administrators Leadership Development Fellow, ITAA Fellow, Mizzou, University of Missouri President's Administrative Leadership Fellow, a Kemper Fellow for Excellence in Teaching at Mizzou. She served as a president-elect, president, counselor of the International Textile and Apparel Association, and currently is a board member of the Council for Textile Recycling. Her expertise includes in sustainability, textile recycling, service learning, and global initiatives. She's also an expert on the old order Amish and their business practices. She works on initiative that promotes ethical sustainability in the global apparel industry. Dr. Hawley's vision led students to work internationally with fair trade organizations to develop women's economic cooperatives, particularly with women in rural India. Her work in sustainability has gained her international recognition. She was an advisor for International Textile Recycling Conference in Japan, worked for the Eco Design Program in Korea. She led study programs to India, El Salvador, and Guatemala. I'm here. Congratulations to Dr. Hawley. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you so much. I am actually very honored to receive this prestigious award and want to sincerely thank Dr. Zhao Brookshire, the TAM faculty and staff, and those who wrote letters on my behalf. I'm humbled by all of your support. I've studied and worked at several universities, but Mizzou is my place. I carry thousands of fond memories of years of time at Mizzou as a PhD student, as faculty, and as department chair. Those fond memories start with teaching bright students, many of whom I'm still connected with on social media or at conferences. I have also had fond memories of research collaborations, dozens of committee meetings, travels with colleagues, all with lots of fun sprinkled throughout. While I know it is dangerous to start listing names because there are so many people at Mizzou that I love and care about, I do want to give a shout out to a few people that are very special. First of all, to my graduate students who have gone on to do bigger and better things, thank you for bursting my buttons. The pride that you give me sustains me as I continue to work with other graduate students and help them through their stressful process of earning a graduate degree. To Dr. B. Smith, thanks for being the remarkable leader that you are. I often watched you from afar, but with awe, and learned from you how to be a strong and gracious leader. To Dr. Stephen Jorgensen, I will never forget when you said to me, you are just one provost away from change that can impact your life and the things that we do. That statement resonates with me throughout my career, and I am sure that it's currently resonating with many of you in HES right now as you go through your challenging time of restructuring. To Doctors Pam Norum and Joe Britt Rankin, thank you for your friendship and making sure that I right my ship when I've steered wrong. I also appreciate you sharing rooms with me at conferences so that we can all be mindful of our budgets. And without a doubt, the person who impacted me the most is my beloved Dr. Jean Hamilton Pry. She challenged me, she supported me, and taught me to be the best scholar that I can be. I know she is watching all of us from above. So now, without carrying on and on, I only have one more thing to say. M-I-Z!
TAM.
You.
Thank you, Dr. Hawley. It's so
You're
good
welcome.
to see you. I am now introducing Ron Phillips, Professor Emeriti in Architecture Studies for next award.
Hi, can everybody hear me? And this is, I'm retired, so this is all fun for a change. The Distinguished Service Award is awarded this year to Dr. Brian Sinclair, who was a 2008 PhD graduate of Architectural Studies. His humanitarian efforts are in the highest tradition of the College of Human and Environmental Sciences. He is and has consistently been the champion of the people. While others have focused on the physical aspects of architecture, Dr. Sinclair is concerned with how architecture can be designed for the user's benefit. Dr. Sinclair's academic preparation for a career serving people includes 2 degrees in psychology, an array of master's degree in environmental design and architecture, and most recently a doctoral degree in architectural studies at MU. The melding of these disciplines uniquely positions him to operate in a holistic manner and therefore maximizes his efforts to create meaningful outcomes. Prior to admission into the MU doctoral program, Dr. Sinclair served as chair of the Department of Architecture at Ball State University, as well as dean of the School of Architecture, Planning and Landscape at the University of Calgary, like in Canada. He has a long-term appreciation for the relationship between people and their physical environments and realizes the critical need for a more systemic approach to improving their well-being. Dr. Sinclair was drawn to the Architectural Studies department in the College of Human Environmental Science because MU's Architectural Studies doctoral program is the only online doctoral program in the world with an environment behavior emphasis. And the College of HES has explicitly included human as its primary focus. The human component of the college's mission was manifested internationally through Dr. Sinclair's expertise. His research focused on an international issue in the words he used in his dissertation abstract, and I quote, "The remarkably difficult challenges of environmental designers, politicians, civil servants, and of course, most directly, the residents of the slum conditions of the Mongolian Gur districts." Following his experiences in Mongolia, Dr. Sinclair perpetuates his people first mantra in the classroom and established an Asian study abroad opportunity, studio focused and based in Tokyo, Japan, for his students. He has given back to the department and the college by his service on the Architectural Studies Advisory Board, as well as serving as a member of the HES Dean's Strategic Leadership. I am incredibly honored to make this nomination of a consummate scholar, a consummate leader, and I consider a dear friend, Brian Sinclair.
Well, thank you very much, Ron, and good afternoon to all of my friends and colleagues at Mizzou. Warm greetings from Canada, as Ron pointed out. It's wonderful to be with all of you this afternoon, if only in a virtual sense. It's indeed a great honor to receive this award from my school. Although, of course, it's bittersweet knowing that it arrives at the culmination of the college. I must say, I only have rich and fond memories of my time at Mizzou for my doctoral studies. The university, the college, and my home department of architectural studies are all extraordinary in so many ways. The campus physically is remarkable, which for me as an architect is a very meaningful thing. But of course, it's the people, the administrators, the faculty, the staff, the students that make up a community. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to a few folks. Of course, I have to thank my wife, Yuki, she's on the Zoom call today, for initiating and supporting my Mizzou journey. I still remember coming home after a long day as dean, and she called me over to the computer and said, "You really need to check out the University of Missouri. It looks like a good fit." And she was exactly right. I want to thank my deans, Steve, Sandy, and Brenda, and I see them all online. Department heads, Ruth and Bimal. John Qualy, who was the chair of the Dean's Strategic Leadership Council, which I had the honor to serve on. John was a remarkably inspiring fellow. And Tootie Burns from the Alumni Association for HES, also very, very inspiring and supportive. Of course, faculty, I want to extend thanks to all the faculty in HES and in architectural studies, but especially call out my supervisory committee, Ruth Toffel, Ben Swartz, Newton D'Souza, who's at Florida International. I remain in close contact with him. And from outside of HES, Charlie Nylon. But of course, I especially want to thank my supervisor and nominator, Dr. Ronald Phillips. He's simply an amazing guy. I was fortunate to have him guide me through the doctoral studies. He's student-centric. He's intellectually rigorous. He's driven by a big heart with great compassion for people and a great sense of intense humility. So I can't express enough, Ron, my gratitude to you and my thanks to HES and to the university. Thanks again for this great honor. I look forward to continuing to support all of the HES units as a new chapter in the history of our college opens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian.
I take great pleasure in introducing a friend of mine and colleague, Bimal Balakrishnan, for the Distinguished Service Award nomination. Bimal.
Thanks, Ron and Brian. Congratulations and thank you for all you do for architectural studies and HES. Now, it's with a lot of admiration and deep sadness we posthumously bestow our second Distinguished Service Award to alumna Marcia Healy. Marcia graduated in 1968 with her BS degree in interior design, which set her up for a very successful career with her own interior design firm in Houston, Texas. Marcia passed away recently on February 26th, and we already feel a great void in our world. And Marcia served the department and college with distinction, with professionalism, and a whole lot of passion. She contributed her impeccable style and talent many a times, most notably during the Gwyn Hall and Gwyn Lounge renovation during 2013 and 2014. I still remember walking in on a Sunday and see Marcia on top of the ladder doing finishing touches to the lounge before the grand opening. And she led by example and led from the front. And Marcia and Robert have endowed a lectureship, a fellowship within the department, and both have greatly enhanced the educational experience for our students. She also served on the HES Dean's Strategic Leadership Council that's comprised of a group of exceptionally dedicated alumni volunteers. And I want to share a couple of quotes about Marcia that were shared with me by, the first one is from Dr. Ruth Toffel, Professor Emerita, former department chair, a colleague and a mentor. And I quote, Marcia Healy's legacy with the MU Architectural Studies program is in inspiring future designers. Understanding the value of design education, Marcia was inspirational during department advisory board meetings and in working with the students. Her enthusiasm for nurturing students created the endowed lectureship series with nationally known speakers and a graduate student scholarship. Moreover, Marcia Healy was herself a role model, exemplifying the poetry of Lord Byron. And Ruth has shared a few lines from Byron to share with all of you. She walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that is best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. And I think that both those lines from the poem and Ruth's words capture, Marcia's essence. The second quote is from John Qualy on behalf of the HES Dean's Strategic Leadership Council. And I quote, when all is said and done, well done is better than well said and well done are the best. The above quote describes Marcia Healy. I had the opportunity of meeting her a couple of times. Gracious, caring, smart, and moving. She lifted people up in her interactions. She was a doer and a builder. Marcia's impact on the Department of Architectural Studies and HES is extraordinary and long-lasting. Few have done more. John and Ruth, thank you for those beautiful tributes. Our department and college have benefited greatly from a meaningful relationship with Marcia and her husband, Robert. They have brought a great number of incredible designers to inspire our students. Their support through their scholarship has led our students to work in some of the best places in the world. We have alumni in Arthrex leading surgical device company. One is going for internship with HP, and I can go on and on about their impact. I want to invite Robert, who is with us here today, to say a few words about Marcia. Robert.
Well, thank you very much. Marcia would really have appreciated this award. She just loved working with the students and faculty of the Architectural Studies Department. In fact, you mentioned the Gwyn Lounge renovation back in 2013. She considered that the most enjoyable project she ever worked on. She often said that she was so impressed with the program in architecture studies that she would like to go back to school again. However, she was not always so enthusiastic about the program. This interest and enthusiasm didn't develop until we had a chance meeting with Ruth Toffel at the Big 12 tournament, basketball tournament in Dallas about 20 years ago. We just happened to be sitting near Ruth and people she was with at her table and noticed that she had on lots of Mizzou paraphernalia and buttons and everything. And so we struck up a conversation with her. And Ruth found out Marcia was a graduate of the Architecture Studies Department and invited her the next time she was at Mizzou to come by and visit the department and learn about it. And Marcia took her up on that invitation. And I remember that right after Marcia had been over to visit the department, she came back and told me how impressed she was and how great the department appeared to her. And so that chance meeting with Ruth in Dallas back a number of years ago is what led her to become such an enthusiastic alum. Again, I'd like to thank you so much for honoring Marcia with this award.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Thank you, Robert. And now I invite Interim Dean Lohman to announce the next award.
Thank you, Bamal, and thank you, Robert, for being with us today. I truly wish I could have met your wife. Every story I've heard the last 2 years was just a story of her remarkable contribution to the world. It is now that I turn our honors to another person who has affected my world in the last 2 years since I have been at Mizzou. John Qualy is being honored with the Dean's Distinguished Service Award today. This award is only given on very special occasions at the discretion of the Dean to an individual who goes the extra mile on behalf of our students, faculty, and staff. Sorry. So I'll take it to a humorous event for a moment. When I first met John, I was a month into my job at Mizzou. Sandy invited me to come to the Dean's Strategic Luncheon in Munch in the basement. I randomly sat down at a table and this gentleman sat down next to me in all of his Mizzou gear head to toe. Little did I know the impact or the interactions I would have with him over the next 2 years. It has been a challenging year in HES, but John has made himself available to me as an enthusiastic and pragmatic volunteer leader. He has a great deal of passion for the College of Human and Environmental Sciences, even though he is not one of our alum. He has been a tireless advocate for all of our departments at the campus level and beyond. And I am deeply grateful for his leadership during my time in this role. Since John's engagement has spanned 40 years plus, I have solicited comments from our former deans who have also interacted with him and had the undeniable pleasure of his leadership in our college. From Dean Emerita B. Smith, she says, I remember John Qualy before he had the gravitas to get away with wearing totally outrageous Mizzou Tiger pants and sweaters on game weekends. I found John when we were both 30-somethings. As the new young dean, I spurred the formation of advisory boards for each department that included high-achieving professionals from all branches of the professional sectors related to our programs. Over the years, he mentored many student interns in his offices. He ungirded his belief in peer financial counseling by providing a lead gift to create a financial counseling center in the Department of Personal Financial Planning. And he spent months of his professional life helping clients achieve such success as he has modeled in his own life. 40 years later, little did I imagine that one of the original team members I recruited would still be giving ever more valuable service to the college and its students. John's continued support of MU and HES is to definitely be celebrated. From Dean Emeritus Steve Jorgensen, John Qualy epitomizes everything that this award was created to recognize. Although his Mizzou degree was not in HES, his big heart has always been with us in every way. By agreeing to serve as the chair of our Dean Strategic Leadership Council during my tenure as dean, John gave generously of his time, talent, and treasure to guide our advancement efforts to new heights. He was a model for others on the council as he leads by example every single day. I am forever grateful to him for his hard work and dedication to the HES mission of improving the human condition and fostering human potential. I was blessed by his presence, and I feel ever so fortunate to have him leading our team. From Dean Emeritus Sandy Raccoon. In recognition of John Qualy's love of Mizzou sports, I share these comments. John Qualy is the ultimate team player. As captain of the HES Dean Strategic Leadership Council, I would single out 3 aspects of his leadership as totally exemplary. And these do not include his dress code, which I would say is only a tick above my own. Thanks, Sandy. But as a leader, first, he always knew when to lead and when to follow. He had singular expertise in reading the folks on the committee, when to push and when to pull them, and when to draw back and let others take the charge. Secondly, you could tell he simply loves to play. Always energetic, always upbeat, always optimistic, always challenging us to do better and knowing that we could do better. And John and I both have that quality of liking to play. And third, and perhaps most importantly to me, he knew that teams always performed their best when they were having a good time, when they were having fun, while at the same time performing at high levels. This enjoyment of what you are doing brings out the best in everyone. John seemed to enjoy every moment with HES, and doing so made everyone around him happier and better. Here's to the consummate team player, John Qualy. I honor you with the Dean's Distinguished Service Award, John. I'll turn it to you.
Thank you, Brenda. Am I on?
Yes.
Okay, good. Would you go through that whole thing again? It made me feel so good. I'll print
it out for you and give it to you in June.
Okay. Okay. I really want to congratulate all the award winners. Really amazing. And the feeling that everybody has here is the feeling that I got way back in the 70s when I met Ed Metzen, who some of you may remember. May his soul rest in peace. Ed helped me meet some people. He would meet with me for coffee, and Ed Metzen, Sue Mills, Rob Wegley, who was the head of PFP back then, Dean B. Smith, Nancy Schultz and Tom, Dean Steve Jorgensen, Dean Sandy Raccoon, Kathy Allen, Tootie Burns, Liz Townsend Bird, interim Dean Brenda. We just got to know each other. We had great thoughts about the future. And then Amy Sanders. I know I've missed some people, but I just wanted to say, it's people and purpose. And I don't know that any other college had the commitment of people to purpose that this one did, because I felt we had to prove ourselves continually. And as a result, we got the choice to do more. And we did. And we had fun doing it. Great people. I will always cherish my time with HES. I do look forward to continuing the purpose of HES in other areas. And I thank everybody for this tremendous honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. And I do look forward to celebrating with you in the future in June, hopefully. Now I would like to turn our awards to our faculty, staff, and graduate student award winners. The College of Human Environmental Sciences recognizes the Dynasty Family Awards for Faculty and Staff Excellence, which partially funds these annual awards presented to our HES faculty and staff. The Dynasty Family Award for Faculty and Staff Excellence was established through gifts and pledges by the Dynasty family and their other family members. I believe Mary Ann and Carolyn may be on the call with us celebrating today. Thank you for joining us as always. These awards recognize outstanding faculty for their teaching, research, and advising, dedicated to staff who go the extra mile to make HES what it is known for, along with our graduate students who have shown great leadership and excellence. It is with great pleasure that I introduce Sarah Kaloran, Associate Professor in Human Development and Family Science, who will introduce our next award winner.
Thank you, Dean Lohman. The Faculty Distinguished Teacher Award recognizes a College of Human Environmental Sciences faculty member who, by attention and dedication to students, has demonstrated outstanding ability as a teacher. One of this year's winners is Dr. Rachel Thibodeau-Nielsen, Assistant Professor in Human Development and Family Science. Dr. Thibodeau-Nielsen's teaching philosophy guides her efforts in the classroom. First, she strives to be a supportive instructor. She gets to know her students' interests and educational goals, and by communicating to students that she cares, they are motivated to succeed. Students describe Dr. Thibodeau-Nielsen as being thoughtful, welcoming, approachable, flexible, and a passionate instructor. Second, she makes class material accessible to students and relatable to their lives. Dr. Thibodeau-Nielsen recognizes that students vary in their learning styles and uses multiple methods of instruction, such as presentations, videos, examples from her own research, and hands-on experiences. Further, she provides and encourages students to think of how class material relates to their own lives and experiences. Students frequently commented on this aspect of Dr. Thibodeau-Nielsen's teaching. For example, one student said that she always gave great examples and explained everything in a way everyone was able to understand. Third, Dr. Thibodeau-Nielsen designs her classes so that students are actively involved in the learning process. Even in her large lecture courses, she is able to have students take ownership of their learning and feel challenged. To summarize her accomplishments, Dr. Thibodeau-Nielsen teaches 4 courses, including a writing intensive course, receives evaluations higher than the HDFS department average, completes workshops to improve her teaching, advises 22 undergraduate students in her research lab, serves as main advisor for 3 graduate students, helps students apply for prestigious national fellowships, and one was awarded this year, is a member on 16 HDFS graduate students committees, mentors 10 HDFS graduate students in their research experiences, and presents and publishes research with her students. Congratulations, Dr. T.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It truly is such an honor to be recognized in this way. And I do have a number of people that I would like to thank, and that list starts with my own teachers. So if you would have told me 20 years ago that I would be a college professor lecturing in front of large groups of students and receiving an award for doing so, I don't think I would have believed you. So through the years, I've just had so many wonderful professors and instructors that have played such an influential role in my development as a student, as a professional, and as a person. So the way that my former teachers have invested in me gave me a passion to do the same thing for my students today. So I'm so grateful for the model that they have given to me. And similarly, I work with some really amazing colleagues in HDFS who are all probably equally deserving of this teaching award. So I just want to say I really look up to everyone in my department for the work that they do in the classroom. And I really try my best to live up to the standards for teaching excellence that they have set for HDFS. So I thank you all for your mentorship these past 4 years. I would also like to, of course, thank those who nominated me for this award and those who wrote letters of support. I'm so grateful for the time that you took to do so. And a big thank you to my students. I'm really lucky to get to interact with such great individuals that make my job, make teaching so fun and so rewarding. Last but not least, I want to give a big thank you to everyone in the HES Dean's office, both past and present, for the support that you've given me as a faculty member here at Mizzou, but also for really working hard to make this final HES award ceremony possible with everything else that's going on this year. So thank you all so much. Thank you again, Sarah, for the nomination, and I'm so grateful.
Congrats, Rachel. I'd like to introduce our next nominator, Muzhen Li, PhD candidate in TAM.
Hello, everyone. It is my huge honor to introduce Dr. Li Zhao, the recipient of Faculty Distinguished Teacher Award. Dr. Zhao is a committed teacher who works diligently to provide the best classroom learning experience for students possible. She has a well thought out teaching philosophy, and this is reflected in the classes she teaches. Dr. Zhao has made innovative contributions in teaching, such as integrating digital analytics into the consumer research course. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Zhao taught 865 credit hours with 288 enrollments overall. These are large classes with lots of students to engage with during the pandemic. Despite the challenging year, her teaching evaluation score did not change, maintaining high quality student feedback. It is clear that she made incredible dedication and extra efforts to provide quality online courses. Dr. Zhao has received a number of grants from Cotton Incorporated to enhance the learning environment for her students. These have included funding for experiential learning opportunities based on both the case study method and practice-based experiential learning. Besides recognition through grants, Dr. Zhao has mentored students through the HES Pure program, Missouri Student Union's Entrepreneurial Program, and ESARP Student Business Plans, the latter two in which students won honors for their work. Congratulations, Dr. Zhao.
Thank you, Muzhen. This award is such an encouragement. It just means a lot to me because I am an HES alum and now a faculty member of HES. I still remember that I came to HES and TAM as a PhD student almost 10 years ago. During my PhD time, I received so much support and love from my department and the college of HES. From my experience as a teaching assistant, a research assistant, I learned how to become a good teacher and a good advisor. So I still remember I was almost giving up my speak test because as an international student, I had to pass a speak test. So I failed the first couple of times. And then Dr. Hawley, who's also receiving an award, at that time, she was a department chair. And she encouraged me to try just one more time. At that time, I was a PhD candidate, just the last time, like she told me just to try one more time. And then I received the score 4, which is a high score. That means I can be an independent instructor. And I still remember when I was struggling with my research and Dr. Hauptshire, and at that time, she was my PhD advisor. She was sitting next to me in her office and helped to revise my paper sentence by sentence. And I remember when I was a teaching assistant for Dr. Norm, and she taught me how to manage classes and how to handle students' questions and how to prepare lectures. So from all of these great people around me, I see great attributes to become a great educator. And I told myself even back then, I just want to be just like them, become a great professor one day. So that's why after I graduated, I went to another university for a couple of years and I received a phone call from my department asking me to come back. And I said, yes, I was so excited. I just cannot wait to come back to HES and TAM immediately. So I just want to say thank you to the college and the university to provide me great opportunities and resources to enhance my teaching in every aspect. And I also want to thank my colleagues. They are my mentors. I appreciate all how we talk with them. We support each other and get through the challenging time all together. And I also want to thank my students, Muzhen, my another PhD master students and other undergrad students. They're just so eager to learn. So that's my motivation to work hard and try all different teaching tactics and bring the best experience to the classroom. Teaching is my continuing adventure, and I hold myself to the same standards that I hold my students. That is, I strive to become a skilled thinker and a learner, and I believe that this is a lifelong process. Thank you, everyone. It's such an honor to receive this award.
Thank you. Thank you for Dr. Zhao's sharing. Now let's move to Dr. Sarah Cloran again to introduce our next award winner.
Thank you. The Distinguished Research Creative Activity Award recognizes a College of Human Environmental Sciences faculty member whose contributions and achievements in their field have distinguished them as an exemplar in the area of research and creative activity. This year's winner is Dr. Kale Monk. Despite having his PhD for only 4 years, Dr. Kale Monk has already made an impact in the area of romantic relationship research and has been recognized as a rising star. Since he began his position at MU, Dr. Monk has published 25 manuscripts, with 13 of those as first author, and written 9 book chapters. His research is published in top-tier family science journals, including the Journal of Marriage and Family, Journal of Family Theory and Review, and Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, as well as top developmental journals, including Emerging Adulthood and the Journal of Youth and Adolescence. Additionally, he has published a book as co-editor. This is uncommon for someone so early in his career and speaks to his strength as a scholar. Consequently, many well-known researchers across the US have reached out to Dr. Monk to collaborate, given his impressive record of productivity. Dr. Monk has received funding from the Family Process Institute and USDA through the North Central Regional Center for Rural Development. His work has been featured in national and international media outlets, including Time, USA Today, and the New York Post, reaching over 230 million people. Dr. Monk has received a great deal of recognition for his research at the national and international levels. In addition to accolades from the Society for the Study of Emerging Adulthood, the National Communication Association, and the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, the International Association for Relationship Research awarded him the Steve Duck New Scholar Award, and the National Council on Family Relations has awarded him 7 Best Paper Proposal Awards for his research. Dr. Monk's engaged scholarship brings recognition and prestige to MU's College of Human Environmental Sciences and the Department of Human Development and Family Science. Congratulations, Dr. Monk.
Thank you. I wasn't able to unmute myself. I apologize. Can you hear me, Sarah? Okay, great. So first of all, I want to thank Dr. Sarah Cloran for nominating me, and thank my awesome letter writers, Dr. Chris Prue, Dr. Rachel Thibodeau-Nielsen, and my colleague, Dr. Brian Ogolski from Illinois, who's also on this call. Thanks for being here, Brian. Obviously, I want to also express my gratitude to the selection committee, Amy Sanders, Liz Townsend, and everyone else involved in this event. I know from being on several awards committees that this takes a lot of time. And the main reason I enjoy conducting research is because of the people who I publish with, my collaborators. So I want to acknowledge and express my appreciation to my co-authors, particularly those who are in my department in HDFS. Dr. Sarah Cloran, her and I have several projects together, and she's a phenomenal researcher and the world's fastest path analysis model runner. Dr. Chris Prue, who I love publishing with because Chris can troubleshoot any statistical issue and craft the best response to reviewers' toughest questions. And I want to also thank my extension partners in crime, Dr. Tichelle Bordaire and Dr. Jacqueline Vinson, who are brilliant wordsmiths. If you want advice or guidance with writing clearer sentences, which is honestly the most important part of publishing, right? Collaborate with qualitative researchers. And of course, my former advisor, Dr. Brian Ogolski, who taught me everything that I know. And although we haven't published together, I want to thank Dr. Melissa Herzog for all of her support with my service tasks. Without her, I wouldn't stay afloat this year. So I truly don't know how I would have done it without you, Melissa, so thank you. Thanks to my wife, Allie, my mom, Tammy, my mother-in-law, Stephanie, and my sister-in-law, Sunny, for being on this call today and for their support. I also want to acknowledge my awesome PhD students, Matt and Dawson, who is co-advised by Sarah. So I spend a lot of time with Sarah Kaloran. And last, thank you, Dean Lohman, for your continued support and mentorship as well. I was raised in a college very similar to HES at Kansas State University, so human sciences colleges hold a special place in my heart. So this award means a lot. It's been an honor to be in this college with the highest proportion of the best people on campus. So thank you.
Okay, sorry. I was having the same problem as Kit. I'd like to introduce our next nominator, Dr. Dwayne Rudy, Associate Professor in HDFS.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted. Thanks, Dr. Killeran. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Melissa Herzog as a recipient of the HES Distinguished Faculty Service Award. Dr. Herzog has been a faculty member in HDFS since 2016, and in that time has made notable contributions in service to the department and university through the Great Plains Initiative, to the university through her work on the McNair Faculty Advisory Committee, to HDFS through her work on the Marketing and Recruitment Committee, and to the community by developing and leading workshops on positive youth development and relationship education. She serves as a liaison between the Great Plains IDEA Consortium and HDFS. She advises students who enroll in Great Plains IDEA through the University of Missouri and has developed curriculum for the program, as well as actively promoted it by calling prospective students, staffing booths at conferences, and reaching out to potential industry partners whose employees may benefit from the program. She's been instrumental in cultivating links with students who have subsequently become on-campus doctoral students in HDFS. Dr. Herzog also has contributed to the College of HES by volunteering her time to help lead the HES 1234 Successful Adulting course in fall 2020, and is currently creating a professional development course for 4-H staff. What truly sets her apart from her peers is how well she represents HES to the community. Though she does not have an appointment with Extension, she helps to provide resources to youth and family, including speaking to parents about sexuality and relationships for young adults on the autism spectrum in partnership with the Special Education Department in the College of Education, and working with the Show Me Healthy Relationships program. Dr. Herzog steps even beyond this role by directly providing relationship education classes to youth whenever asked, such as for high schoolers and 4-H, teens through the University Methodist Conference, and refugee youth through Catholic Charities, to name a few. Our department and the college are lucky to have her as a colleague, and I'd like to congratulate you, Dr. Herzog, on receiving the Distinguished Faculty Service Award.
Okay, sorry. There was a warning that the host won't allow me to unmute myself, so I apologize for that. I just want to say thank you so much. Recognition of my service to HES is truly such an honor for me. I actually graduated from Mizzou HDFS 20 years ago this year, class of 2001. I had an amazing experience and so much support along the way and fell in love with this place. I began my service to HES even back then as a student ambassador, and I still have the polo shirt to prove it. my time in HDFS and HES and as a McNair Scholar with an HDFS mentor, these all gave so much to me as a student, and the experiences and the supports influenced who I am as a professional in such profound ways. So giving back to my department, my college, Mizzou, the McNair program, my own youth development graduate students, to me, these are just sort of the natural things to do to pay it forward for all that I was given in the past. I love the opportunities to interact and collaborate with students and colleagues at Mizzou and our GPI partners, as well as in the community. Because to me, all of these things promote the amazing things that we do here in HES. And I also want to just extend a lot of appreciation to those colleagues who serve alongside me in so many of the roles that were mentioned, including many people who are on this call today: Kale Monk, Ashley Lester, Dean Lohman, and more. So thank you again for this honor. HES truly is my home and has been my family for 2 decades, and this means more to me than you will ever know. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Herzog. And now I would like to invite Dr. Joe Brink, an Associate Dean, HES Extension, to introduce our next award recipient.
Good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to all the award winners. It is my extreme pleasure to introduce you to Susan Mills Gray, one of our Distinguished Faculty Service Award winners. Susan began her career with MU Extension in 1983. She has served as a nutrition and health education specialist in multiple locations around the state. And in 2014, in the fall, she accepted a position as an extension professor in the Department of Nutrition and Exercise Physiology through Extension. Throughout her career, Susan has been actively involved representing MU, the Extension Division, and Nutrition and Exercise Physiology. She has become a strong advocate for her discipline, as well as the Academy overall. She has mentored numerous junior faculty. While Susan's efforts have been quite extensive, I wanted to share just a small list of some of her service efforts since moving to the campus in the Department of Nutrition and Exercise Physiology. She has served as an awards judge since 2010 for the National Extension Association of Family and Consumer Sciences. She has served on the Provost non-tenure track faculty standing committee, as well as the MU Extension non-tenure track promotion committee. She has served since 2014 as a judge at the Missouri State Fair, specifically in food preservation. She has also been a member of the C. Bryce Ratchford Memorial Fellowship Committee for the UM system and has served from 2018 to 2020 as an interim nutrition and health extension education director. Susan not only volunteers on behalf of her academic home and MU and her department, but she also volunteers in her local community. And recently, Susan had talked to me about how she has also set up a clothes closet for women in her community in Cass County, Missouri, who are in need of interview clothes. Susan, we applaud and so appreciate your dedicated service for so many years to MU, to Extension, and to HES.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate all your kind comments, and I want to thank you for nominating me for this recognition. Folks, I've reached the age where I can't make my comments unless I have my reading glasses on, so just bear with me. I really do want to thank Joe for her many years of friendship. Folks, I helped hire Joe, and I was one of her mentors, so she forgot to mention that part. But we've had a long-standing friendship and a great working relationship, and so I'm appreciative of her, everything that she did on her behalf to make this award a reality for me. I also want to let everyone know this is a very humbling acknowledgement of my career. I'm extremely appreciative to the College of Human Environmental Sciences Selection Committee, and I've always been so proud to be a member of the University of Missouri. I was a 4-H'er when I was young in Southeast Missouri, and that molded my goal to become an extension specialist at some point. After I taught high school in Perryville, Missouri for a couple of years, I got my opportunity. And very early on, I was mentored by a faculty member in community development. His name was Bill Chronister. Was very important to me. He helped me understand that to be successful in my career, I was going to have to learn to be a servant leader. And so I've tried my best to utilize those values. I think giving of myself so others can excel has made for a very rewarding career. I certainly would not have been as successful as I've been without the collaboration and teamwork of so many amazing and hardworking extension colleagues throughout my past 38 years. And folks, I don't have time to name them all, but a lot of my buddies are on here today. Gilbert Rankin and Kathy Dohag. I could just go on and on naming people, but I've really been blessed to work with some of the finest folks that I know. They've enriched my teaching as well as my leadership experiences. My parents weren't able to listen today, but I do want to tell them thank you for instilling a strong work ethic in my value system. And last and most importantly, I want to thank my husband, Bill, who's joining us today, our 5 children and their spouses, and our amazing 10 grandchildren who continue to inspire me every day to make this world a healthier place, and for all the support that they've given me. Today will always be a special memory for me, so thank you. I'm grateful for my family and colleagues who are joining me today to celebrate. I want to send a special hello to my sister Robin, who's listening in Southeast Missouri. And I think Aubrey and Emory and Oakley and Finley and Sully are listening in too. So thank you all, everyone. I appreciate it, and congratulations to my fellow award winners.
I guess I'll just go ahead to the Distinguished Staff Award, which recognizes the College of Human Environmental Sciences staff members for sustained excellence in voluntarily assuming additional responsibilities, maintaining and improving professional skills, providing consistently high quality support, and showing professional dedication. My name is Elizabeth Parks, and I'm a professor in nutrition and exercise physiology. And these characteristics describe Jennifer Anderson, a dietitian in our department. Jennifer works in both clinical research and also with the NEP Master's Program to educate the next generation of dietitians. Over the years, Jennifer has been relied on more and more to provide knowledge to support research activities in HES. She's been a key contributor to nutrition research by providing weight loss and other medical nutrition therapy counseling to research subjects. She's helped faculty and staff formulate the processes they need to carry out human research safely. And when someone asks her a question she doesn't know the answer to, she connects them to her extensive network at MU to help them establish their protocols. This work exemplifies both Jennifer's incredible analytical abilities and the fact that she has a deep understanding of how to communicate and support learners in our college. Lastly, I'd say that Jennifer works with dietetic interns by coordinating their experiences providing nutritional counseling to a diverse patient population in a clinic called the MedZoo Clinic. This clinic offers healthcare free of cost to uninsured residents of Central Missouri. And thus Jennifer is not only supporting a very deserving community, but simultaneously providing education for dietetic students on how to work with underserved populations. In summary, Jennifer Anderson truly exemplifies the HES directive to make a positive difference in the lives of our students, our faculty, and the university. Jennifer?
Thank you so much, Dr. Parks, for nominating me for this award and for those who contributed to my nomination. And thanks for my parents and my husband who are on the Zoom today. I'm honored to receive this award today. I want to thank Dr. Parks and the faculty of the coordinated program in dietetics for molding a position that fits so well for me. I feel so much support from you all, and I feel like your encouragement to use my strengths allows me to grow in this position and contribute to the experience of the students, the university, and the community. At times, I think that you have all seen strengths in me, some of which I might not have even realized myself. And with the combination of that and really enjoying working with you all, that allowed me to thrive here. It allows me to thrive. As an HES alum, I love that I can give back to the college and community where I started my journey. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Vimal, and it's my pleasure to introduce Julie Shea, who's an architectural studies colleague, and I should mention an HDFS alumna as the winner of the second Distinguished Staff Award. Julie was nominated unanimously by our entire faculty team and our graduate students who have been here a couple of years. Julie has provided exemplary service to our department and HES for over 5 years and over 25 years to Mizzou. And the last few years has been non-routine years in our department. We had the 6-year CEDA reaccreditation visit. We had MU's 5-year program review. All of these demanded significant efforts to gather data and evidence. In addition, we had personnel changes. Ruth retired and I stepped in as department chair. Benny retired and Ron had retired a few years back. So that led to a lot of faculty searches. And all of this, as anyone who works in our departments know, adds all of these roads kind of cross through the staff, and Julie was involved in supporting all of these efforts. And in the last few years, our faculty have also successfully secured more grants, more gifts, and that results in hiring more graduate and undergraduate research assistants, more technology acquisitions, more facility and infrastructure improvements. And so there's all of those positive developments. And in the last 12 months, we had the transition to online due to COVID, and now we are transitioning to a new college. So amidst all of these heightened demands and significant pressure in her day-to-day work, Julie's performance has been simply outstanding. One of the qualities that we like is that she's a big picture thinker. She can see the overall patterns and at the same time pay attention to the little things and work towards continuous process improvement for the overall operational success of our department. She's pretty consistent in meeting her responsibilities on time and often exceed expectations. And she's a real team player and cares deeply about our department and HES. And we are delighted to see your contributions recognized with this award. Julie?
Thank you, Vimal. I'm delighted to be nominated and honored with this award. Thank you to the faculty, the graduate students, and everyone who wrote letters on my behalf. I also want to thank all of my friends and peers and everyone who supported me and guided me and had patience with me as I learned the role of working in an academic unit. When I came to architectural studies, I'd never worked in an academic unit before. So as you were saying, we've had lots of faculty searches, the accreditation, there's lots of things that I kind of had to learn on the fly. And yeah, so it was kind of a big task, but I like doing challenges and I like stepping up to those. So it's been fun and it's been interesting, and I'm truly honored to be recognized and receive this award on behalf of HES. So I will proudly carry it with me. So thank you all very, very much.
Thanks, Julian. Now I invite Dr. Jackie Limburg to announce the next winner.
All right, thank you. I got here just in time. So I'm really excited I get the opportunity to introduce Thomas Jerison. So Tom was given the Distinguished Graduate Teacher Award, which recognizes a College of Human Environmental Sciences graduate student who's demonstrated enthusiasm and commitment to teaching in the classroom. Tom's excellence in the classroom has been noticed by numerous faculty within the Department of Nutrition and Exercise Physiology, and he was recently unanimously selected to receive the Dale Brigham Nutrition and Exercise Physiology Teaching Assistant Award. So not only is Tom enthusiastic and committed to a career in education, he's set himself apart as an emerging leader in the classroom with immense promise as a future educator. Tom's classroom performance is impressive, and his work with students at Mizzou exemplifies dedication and professionalism, as well as creativity and originality. In feedback from students, they are most appreciative of Tom's willingness to treat them as individuals and take the time to go through their questions, either during or after class. When courses had to switch virtually last spring and then again this fall, the hands-on laboratory courses were some of the most affected. Without missing a beat, Tom collaborated with other TAs and faculty in NEP to develop a number of interactive videos, presenting tasks students would have otherwise completed in the lab. Tom also understands how the uncertainty affected students' performance and retention of material, and made every effort to make himself accessible and available to answer questions and help students through the transition. One of his favorite parts of being TA is working in small groups where students are more open to discussing questions they may otherwise have avoided in larger classes. He also enjoys challenging students on what they've learned in lecture and how they might apply that to real life situations. In talking to Tom, he said, "My goal is for students to not only have a greater appreciation for the beneficial effects of exercise, but also to be better problem solvers. I hope they're able to take some of these types of questions and approaches we use in the lab to other classes or situations to obtain a better understanding of the world around him." So I'm so glad that Tom was given this award. So congratulations, Tom.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank HES and NEP for this distinguished award. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Lindberg, for nominating me for this, as well as the rest of my committee, and especially Dr. Canali and Dr. Padilla for allowing me to teach throughout my time here at Mizzou. Thank you.
I am delighted to introduce the next award winner. I've had the pleasure of getting to know this individual as an undergraduate student, graduate student, and in particular as a writing intensive teaching assistant. Sydney Robertson is beginning her third year as a PhD student in the Department of Textile and Apparel Management. As a graduate student in the department, Sydney has had a variety of teaching responsibilities, including a teaching assistant for 2 different writing intensive courses, a large enrollment textiles lab course, and a freshman level retailing course. As a teaching assistant for the writing intensive course, Social Appearance in Time and Space in fall 18, 19, and 20, Sydney was responsible for leading discussion sections and grading written assignments for all of her students. Sydney's students appreciated the encouragement and expectations that she demanded in her discussion sections. She pushed them to go above and beyond and helped them to enhance their writing skills. Sydney set high expectations for her students and helped them plan for success. Students enjoyed working with her, and she received high evaluations for all semesters. In addition, Sydney took the initiative to teach a lecture to all students each semester. She challenged herself to develop additional content and discuss more difficult topics. As one of her students stated, "I think she does an amazing job working with her students. I have found that not only is she super engaging and relatable during class, but she puts in a great deal of effort to make sure her students are prepared enough to succeed through individual learning and growth. Additionally, she creates a really open learning environment to engage her students and help them gain a better understanding of the material they are presented with. She is awesome. She truly makes going to class much more enjoyable. Congratulations, Sydney, on the Distinguished Graduate Teacher Award."
Thank you so much, Dr. Mestres. It would go without saying that Mizzou HES is a true family, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this amazing community for the past decade. Mizzou TAM has changed and blessed my life in more ways than I can count. Thank you for always challenging me, encouraging me, supporting me, and continuously believing in me and my dreams. I don't take it for granted at all that my MIZ Tiger Roar is so much stronger because I have so many strong tigers roaring behind me. including but not limited to Dr. Ha Brookshire, Dr. Norum, Dr. Mestris, Dr. McVie Black, Dr. Zhao, Dr. Noon, Dr. Parsons, Hope Horn, Nicole Johnston, Leona Nichols, my entire TAM graduate student family, and all of HES advising staff that I truly miss hugging and waving hi to in the hallways. To Dr. HV and Dr. Norum, very quickly, I just wanted to say there aren't enough words to say thank you for the conversation that we had way back in 2017 at Plant Branch to consider me being a part of your PhD program. I'm grateful that because of your faith in me, I had the confidence to say yes to you. And oh my goodness, what an amazing journey it has been so far. I can't wait until I'm on the other side of the fence where I'm able to pour back into students just how you have poured into me. To my nominees, my student Hope, you are the type of TA a student a TA could always wish they would hope to have. One thing I'm most grateful for is our friendship that grew outside of the classroom, and I will always hold our conversations near and dear. I'm so grateful and wonderful and excited to see who you become. To Nicole Johnson, Nicole, you're such an amazing and creative woman, and I'm grateful to have gotten to spend time with you for the past 2 years and learning from your leadership. History of Western Dress is truly brought to life with all of your many dress pieces and artifacts that are pristinely kept. Thank you for always letting me do surprise pop-ups in your office just to say hello, even though you're always really busy. And you always help me improve my teaching skills. And lastly, to Dr. Jamie Mestris, in case you don't remember, Jamie, you are the reason that I became a TAM major in spring 2011. I was in my second semester of my sophomore year, and I had many credits from the College of HES, but I hadn't decided on a major yet. I came into the advising office to see what TAM was all about. And although I left still not sure what I wanted to do with my career, I knew I really liked you, and I inevitably chose TAM because of how great I felt after leaving your office. Thank you for being an influential part of my journey for so many years, and don't let anybody tell you any differently. Advisors really do change lives, and the College of HES is still changing lives to this day. Thank you all so very much.
Okay, hello. I am Ashley Lester, and I am so excited to introduce you to Danielle Turley, recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Teacher Award. Full disclosure, she is not here. She is under the weather, but she's so delightful. I wanted to read my little blurb about her anyway, so you could also know how delightful she is. So Danielle Turley is an impressive instructor, researcher, student, and citizen of the Human Development and Family Science Department. She has been the instructor of record for 10 courses, which is very impressive for a graduate student. Danielle receives exceptional evaluations from her students, and the department trusts her with complicated courses and potentially sensitive subjects. Danielle has excelled at teaching regardless of the content or the mode of delivery. Small discussion labs, writing intensive courses, large lectures, in-seat, online, self-paced. Danielle has done it all, and she's done it all so well. She is committed to her students. In fact, one of her former students had this to say about her. Ms. Turley went far beyond commenting on submitted assignments and providing feedback. She would reach out to me when she felt I had done particularly well and comment on the strengths she saw in my papers and projects. She encouraged me at every step and showed me she was taking me seriously as a student, and my confidence grew. Ms. Turley led a class that was challenging, interesting, and valuable to me in my career, while also making me feel for the first time that I truly had a place in this field. She did what 12 years of professional experience could not by instilling that belief in me. This is the kind of personal impact that Danielle has on her students and all who are lucky enough to work with her. So congratulations, Danielle, and I hope you all send her an email and say congratulations too. And now I'd like to introduce you to our next nominator, Jackie Lindberg.
All right, thank you so much. And I get the opportunity to introduce the next Distinguished Graduate Research Award. And so I'm so excited to introduce Mary Moore. The Outstanding Graduate Research Award recognizes a College of Human Environmental Sciences graduate student who's demonstrated originality, imagination, and outstanding contributions to research. So Mary Moore's contributions to the nutrition and exercise physiology field are outstanding and will have no doubt have a lasting impact on our understanding of the pathophysiology of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Prior to the completion of her dissertation, Mary already has 12 peer-reviewed research publications, which includes 6 first author publications in highly prestigious journals in her field, as well as over 15 first or co-author abstracts presented at local, regional, national, and international meetings. Mary's scientific presentations have resulted in the receipt of a number of highly competitive awards, supporting the significance and the novelty of her work, as well as her excellence in scientific communication. On the University of Missouri campus, Mary was one of the top recipients of the campus-wide Research and Creative Activities Forum Presentation Award in 2020, and the School of Medicine Dean's Award for Outstanding Research in 2019. Mary has been identified as an emerging leader in her field with immense promise as a future scholar. As a testament to this, Mary was an invited speaker at the most recent UCLA Mitochondrial Symposium, as well as the American Diabetes Association Scientific Sessions, which had over 12,500 participants from around the world. Even more impressive, as a pre-doctoral student, Mary's already served as an invited co-chair for a scientific session hosted by the Physiological Society. And this is an international physiological society based in the United Kingdom. And this was on the topic of physiology of obesity, which is her area of expertise. Mary already has experience obtaining independent extramural funding for her research ideas, something that's very rare for someone at her level. And her dissertation work examining the role of mitochondrial function, mitophagy, and dynamics of the pathophysiology of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease in both human and animal models highlights some of her out-of-the-box thinking, as well as her impressive work ethic and skill set. As a result, this independent line of work has led to invited talks, presentation awards, and postdoctoral fellowship opportunities. I would not be over-exaggerating if I said that Mary has been a model graduate student throughout her time at Mizzou and is a role model for all who joined the Department of Nutrition and Exercise Physiology. So congratulations, Mary. I'm so happy that your work has been recognized.
Thank you, Dr. Lindberg. Thank you to HES for this fantastic award, and a special thanks to my nominators and those who've provided letters of support. A special thank you to everyone who's involved with my training in HES, especially the Department of Nutrition and Exercise Physiology, all of the faculty and staff. A special thank you to my PhD committee and my mentor, Scott Rector. HES has been a fantastic environment to grow and learn in, and I've made many friends along the way, for which I'm truly grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And I would like to now introduce our next nominator, Dr. Yoon In Tam.
Oh, hi. Hello. I'm very happy to introduce Rana, who is an award winner of Distinguished Graduate Research. He completed a master's degree at TAM in 2018. Currently, he is pursuing a PhD degree working toward his PhD dissertation. Rana's contribution to research is outstanding. He has completed 5 publications in peer-reviewed journals in the field of clothing and textiles. He completed more than 10 conference proceedings, collaborating with his peers in the department and other researchers outside of the college. And 2 manuscripts are under development. Rana was awarded Best Student Paper with his master's thesis at ITAA, which is top distinguished academic conference in this field. While I'm working with Rana for research project, I believe that he has such a great potential of offer important contribution to the field of textile and apparel management. He has showed his deep understanding in academic approaches, bridging the gap between theories and supply management in the e-retail sector. He has been trying to develop his theoretical and even statistical foundation for his future academic contributions and interdisciplinary approaches. I am very excited to see the next chapter of his career journey after graduating the PhD program at TAM. Rana, congratulations. Yeah, I'm turning it to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yoon, for your really kind words. And thank you so much, HES, for this amazing recognition. an award. And I would like to thank all the graduate faculty members of TAM, especially Dr. Yoon and Dr. Lee Zhao, for their letter of support and giving me the opportunity to collaborate with them in some amazing research endeavors. And I also would like to thank my graduate student colleagues and friends for their great support along the way, especially Sydney Robertson and Mujin Lee for their letter of support, and some of my previous colleagues of TAM who always motivated me and shaped me of who I am. And I also like to thank Dr. Katie Magby-Black, who has been an amazing teaching supervisor and more than a supervisor, an amazing friends during the last 1 year, which is really challenging for me. So thank you, Carrie. And last but not the least, I would like to thank my amazing mentor, Dr. Zhang Brookshire, who has been the best advisor I could have as a doctoral student. I came to Mizzou back in 2016 as a master's student with some passion and motivation, but really less amount of research experiences. And during the last 5 years, she patiently hear all of my crazy research ideas, motivated me along the way, keep pushing me to pursue what I love, to do research, and literally trained and groomed me of whatever researcher I am. So thank you so much, Dr. Brookshire, and I hope to continue to do the research that I really love and hope to uphold the really high standard of teaching and the research and scholarly achievement that HES taught and trained me to do. Thank you so much.
And I'm back again. I'm excited to introduce you to Joy Roos. She's the recipient of the Distinguished Graduate Researcher Award. Joy Roos has immersed herself in research throughout her tenure as a graduate student. Her research is aimed at promoting immigrant and minority youth well-being by understanding the context and circumstances that contribute to pro-social behaviors. Joy's work has immediate implications for programming and policies, and given the social justice demonstrations in 2020, it is very much needed. Her contributions to research are significant, and they're just starting. In just a few short years, she has multiple research publications and many more under review and in preparation. In her first year as a doctorate student, Joy received funding from the University of Missouri's Division of Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity to explore minority students' experiences of discrimination, and she has been collecting data across campus. She has also submitted a mixed methods research proposal to the Fulbright Student Research Program to study immigrant and minority experiences of discrimination among adolescents in Southern Spain. Each of Joy's publications, presentations, and grants represents collaborations and networks she has built across campus and across institutions. Joy is making an impact not only in her discipline through research, but also within her own HDFS community. Congratulations, Joy. This is a well-deserved award.
Thank you, Dr. Lester, for your nomination. And also thank you for your advocacy for graduate students in our department, just making sure that we have the tools and the resources and the support when we do want to go after these grand, ambitious goals. You definitely support those things, so thank you so much for that. And thank you for the faculty and the graduate students who wrote letters of support. As a social worker, I arrived to the HDFS department with a very applied background. So I knew that research was important, but I also felt like the process itself was a little intimidating. So I'm very thankful to have arrived to a department like HDFS, where the faculty and staff take all the time necessary to really help you feel comfortable and also equip you with the tools you need to ultimately feel like a capable researcher. I particularly want to thank my advisor, Dr. Sarah Kolorin, who is here on the call, as we've seen, and she has just been amazing guiding me through, personal and professional challenges, transitions, all of the ups and downs of a graduate degree, and she does it with such grace. But she always takes my research dreams seriously and makes them feel tangible. And I think that is so dignifying and really helps to motivate me to continue to go after those things. And then finally, I am thankful to the HES College for having served as a home to those of us who aspire to improve the lives of individuals and communities. I think all of the success and the hard work of the people here is just a testament to the kind of home HES has been for all of us. So, thank you.
Great, thank you, Joy. Congratulations again. And now our next nominator, Brenda Lohman.
Thank you, everyone. This year, the HES leadership team, when we were reviewing the nomination packets and determining the awards, when I presented them to the leadership team, we decided that we needed another special category of awards this year. And that is around COVID. And for those faculty and staff and students in our college who went above and beyond, everybody went above and beyond. Let me say that to everyone. Every single person went above and beyond this year in learning how to adapt and be resilient and continue with all the great work and amazing work we do in the College of Human and Environmental Sciences. But we wanted to particularly reach out and recognize those who worked in teams. And so we created the HES COVID-19 Teamwork Leadership Award. And our first award goes to Graham, Marco, and Andrew. And I'm going to invite Joe to say a few words about their work in the last year.
Thank you, Brenda. I am extremely proud of the work of the MU Center for Economic Education. Graham, Marco, and Andrew stepped up and quickly adapted as COVID set in and we were all sent home to work remote. They began working in the media and with extension faculty throughout the state, as well as individuals, to really discuss the financial impacts that families were seeing. And they were featured here on local TV as well as in print media. And I just applaud their efforts. I would say where you see one, you see all three. They are a true team, and I just cannot thank them enough for all of their efforts.
Thank you, Joe, for that introduction. While COVID has been devastating for Missouri families, communities, and the economy, the immediate and pressing needs of Missouri residents compelled the three of us to grow and stretch our abilities in ways that will persist beyond the pandemic. In support of our efforts, we are grateful for the support from the College of HES and MU Extension during our continuing COVID outreach.
And we'd also like to thank Dr. Jobert Rankin for her leadership and direction, Dr. Jung-Ha Brookshire for her mentorship and guidance, and finally, all of our peers in HES and Extension, including Dean Lohman, that were really our partners in our collaborative efforts toward fulfilling the mission of our land-grant university. And, you know, that's a mission that we take pretty seriously, and we've really been privileged to have our Extension careers all start and develop through the College of HES. We all started here as undergrads before becoming faculty. So, you know, there's a way of doing extension work that is unique to HES. And we're really glad to have been able to deploy that approach in our COVID work. You know, it's not just what we were talking about, but how we were talking about it and the considerations we had. And that's uniquely HES, and we really appreciate all that we've gotten from the college.
And to round out and close our comments, I'd just like to add that as our team completes the transition to our new academic home, we look forward to continuing our collaborative efforts across Mizzou with all of you, our HES family, in the hopes we can sustain the heart of the HES approach in our new work. Thank you again for the honor of this award.
Thank you, Graham, Andrew, and Marco. And in a true sense of team science, I love how you integrated your comments, and I wholeheartedly agree that I know that our hearts will continue to extend and create our boundaries wider and larger at Mizzou, and we will have an even bigger impact. It is now that I will turn to our next COVID award, team award winner, Amy. And that is for the entire Department of Textile and Apparel Management and for the work they did around masks and creating fabric for masks during the start of the pandemic. And Jung is here to accept this award on behalf and make a few comments.
Thank you so much. Oh my, last year this time, we just said no masks and the hospitals we were just all juggling around where to get the mask, right? So actually, Dr. Norum at that time started this, but then whole group of faculty and graduate students started coming to our lab, cutting fabrics that MU Hospital have secured, but they didn't have enough capacity to cut them fast enough. They've somehow found a whole bunch of volunteers to sew. It's just that the cutting process was a bottleneck and just they couldn't move fast enough. So since we have the lab and laser cutter as well as manual cutting, that as you see that Sydney and Nicolette there and cutting fabrics, and we were able to relieve that pressure of the supply chain a lot. And so it's a couple of pictures are here and a couple of the local newspaper featured us. And so thank you for recognizing that effort, Dean Lohman, for us. I appreciate this award on behalf of all the faculty and staff and graduate students mostly. But it was whole new different thing to do, and we were able to do all of this remotely. So thank you for recognizing, and I'll bring it back to all of my grad students and faculty. Thank you.
Thank you, Jung. Now I will turn to the next COVID team award, which is to the Munch Kitchen for their work during the start of the pandemic as well and throughout the year. And Jill, the interim chair of NEP, is here to provide some remarks.
Yes, I'd like to present this award to MU Nutritional Center for Health, which is Munch, in particular to Kenny Williams and Talia Fordham, who really stepped up to the plate last year during COVID. They prepared and packaged lunches, hundreds of lunches for MU healthcare workers during COVID. And I just want to thank you for offering your skills to help others and give your time selflessly.
Thank you, Jill. Kenny, I'm unmuting you. I don't know what's going on with the mutes today. There you go. There you go, Kenny.
Am I in?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Just wanted to say thank you. And when we all went into quarantine, Dr. Hardin and I got together. The hospital was looking for help in staffing ways and things like that, and we decided that making food in our kitchen, where we were all by ourselves in a secure environment, would be a nice, quick, efficient way to do it. I worked in a hospital setting as a chef prior to this, and knowing that when you run out of staff, the hardest thing to do is to make food from scratch. So having food prepared ahead of time quickly that they could pull from, we thought would be a good way to support that effort. So we did it and had a good time, and they seemed to appreciate it.
Thank you,
So,
Kenny.
thank you.
Talia?
Oh, perfect. So I just want to thank Dean Lohman for the nomination for this award. When Kenny and I started prepping meals, I don't think either of us did it with the expectation of recognition. But nonetheless, thank you for this and for highlighting the ways in which HES was able to contribute to pandemic relief efforts. I want to thank my mentor, Dr. Parks. She really brought this opportunity to my attention, and she put me in contact with Kenny at the start of the pandemic and recognized that this would be something I'd be more than honored to do. I want to thank Dr. Hardin for being a key player in bringing these efforts to fruition. He helped recognize a need in our community and made sure Kenny and I had everything we needed to be successful in our efforts. And lastly, I want to thank Chef Kenny. Kenny truly was the leader of this endeavor. He planned the meals, figured out what we needed for prep and delivery, and really made all of this possible. And I'm grateful for the friendship that grew as a result of our collaboration in this venture. I'm very honored to have had the chance to give back to the community and hospital staff while Columbia was trying to adjust to the new pandemic world. And again, truly thank you for this, but it was honestly my privilege to be able to give back.
Thank you, Kenny and Talia. 500 meals, that's absolutely amazing. Our next award from the HES leadership team goes to our tiny, but very, 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 very mighty IT support in the College of Human Environmental Science, to Jonathan and Joyce, who magically have made all this happen for all of us all year with any problems. I cannot tell you how fast they had to help all of us pivot. IT, as many of you know, has been integral for allowing us to be able to work remotely, hold classes remotely, and be able to do the things on campus at a distance that we've normally been able to do. And Jonathan and Joyce went above and beyond from the start of, wait, we only think this is going to be a few weeks. We're not going to let people take stuff home, to, oh my goodness, this is really going to be a long-term pandemic. We're in a pandemic, right? And then everybody took stuff home to help support their work. And so they went into a new mode of being able to help people adjust to being at home, working from home, how to fix their things from home. They met people in parking lots to pick up laptops outside the back of the building, did calls at night, on the weekends. They have been instrumental in making all of this work for us during the past year. And so I want to thank Jonathan and Joyce for all of their help with making HES and all of our faculty, staff, and students such a success during this time of on-campus and remote and distance work and learning. Congratulations, Jonathan and Joyce. Comments from either of you?
Thank you so much, everyone, for this award and recognition. It was really crazy during that start of the pandemic, but we survived it. And I do want to tell everyone that I miss HES. So it's great to be back here. So that's all.
We miss you too. Jonathan?
Yes, am I on?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Lohman. It's really my honor to receive this award. I want to say that you have no idea how hard it is to receive an award if you work in IT. The reason is that IT people are never fast enough and there's always problems. Okay, so in this mode, by default, it's really hard to get anything. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself and what we have been through. When I started this job as an IT lead back in May 2017, my original goal is to improve the existing process. Just when everything is about to kind of settle down, back on track, and COVID-19 come and hit us, and along with all the major changes in the technology side, that's really make everything very hard. And not to mention the college restructure put another extra burden on me. Well, nevertheless, I take all these changes in a positive way to think this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to learn how to be adaptive in a fast-paced IT environment. And believe me, there are a lot of things in my area are harder than it seems. Okay, so with all that said, I want to once again thank you for all your patience and support. And I want to give special thanks to Joyce, because without her, there are a lot of things we cannot get done. So thanks again for the work.
Thank you, Jonathan and Joyce, very much. As you can see by all the comments, I know IT also had a lot of pushback as well to go faster and faster, but I know from both of you that you guys were going night and day, 7 days a week. So thank you very much. Our final COVID Special Teamwork Leadership Award goes to the Child Development Lab. The Child Development Lab, since we work with young children on campus, was an even more of a unique situation since most childcares shut down and schools shut down around us. Our teachers were able to work from home prior to having to have a break so that we could bring the Child Development Lab back. And in the summer, we were able, Michelle and Raina and were able to create a plan to bring everybody back and bring the child development lab back in a way where we were able to try to distance children, to protect our teachers, and to provide the excellent education we do to our youngest tigers in the CDL. It has been a challenging year for them with the public health restrictions and having to adapt everything they do. Have you ever tried to keep 2- and 3-year-olds apart? Have you ever tried to, make sure they're not pulling on your mask? It is definitely not an easy job, and I recognize that for all of our teachers in the CDL this year because they have done an amazing job. And several of our faculty and staff, as Kale just mentioned, have children in the CDL. And so when the CDL reopened, it allowed them also to support our faculty, staff, and students who they care for their children during the day. I am very proud of the CDL and all of the teachers and staff. And I turn it over to Michelle Matthews, the director, for comments. Congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you, Dean Lohman. On behalf of the CDL teachers and staff, I want to say thank you for this award and recognition. Our success over the past year wouldn't be possible without a dedicated team of teachers and staff who really care about children and their families. So thank you to Beth, Raina, Julia, Laura, Susan, Chelsea, Logan, and Frank. You did it. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the CDL families for their support during the pandemic. Thank you again, and we are all looking forward to a brighter and better new school year. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. We all are, for our youngest tigers and all of us. That concludes our COVID Team Leadership Awards. We will now turn to our final recognition, which is what we are calling the Forever Friends Award. I'm taking a break right now. And our first group, the Forever Friends Award, we created as a special recognition to our top alumni, volunteers, and leaders in the College of Human and Environmental Sciences to recognize their many years of service and dedication, as well as leadership, loyalty, and passion for HES. I look forward to celebrating with all these groups when they return in June for one of our final meetings and to celebrate, hopefully, the honoring of a bench outside of the College of Human and Environmental Sciences in our name. I know it won't be the last interaction that we have with each other. As Graham, Marco, and Andrew said, I know our passion runs deep and will spread even wider across Mizzou and beyond as we work together. Our first group that we would like to recognize is our Dean Strategic Leadership Council members. I got the pleasure of meeting most of them, as I mentioned earlier, when giving John's Award at their Fall 19 DLC meeting in the Munch Kitchen. And then when I came upstairs and Sandy said, hey, can you just talk a little bit about HDFS and your goals for HDFS? They were all very inviting, very interested in getting not only to know me personally, but also to know what my plans were for HDFS and what our future looked like. That HES Dean Strategic Leadership Council has served our college with dedication and focus. This group was formed in 2015 to help and guide our philanthropic efforts and priorities for HES during our Time to Lead campaign. Through their leadership, they helped to promote and advance the college efforts to surpass our goal of $16 million by ultimately reaching $20.6 million. Thank you very much to all of you and your efforts in this philanthropic campaign. It has served us well and will continue to serve us well as we move into our new college homes. They spearheaded projects like the space planning and feasibility study for the Center for Contemporary Families, as well as represented HES at several MU communities and committees and cabinets, as well as in our communities. We are grateful for their time, talent, and treasure. Thank you to the Dean Strategic Leadership Council. The next Forever Friends Award goes to our Alumni Advisory Board. The Human Environmental Sciences Alumni Organization has existed in its current structure since 1972, previously known as the University of Missouri Home Economics Association. The members of our HES Alumni Board are an amazing, amazing group of alumni leaders who, with the purpose of promoting the mission of the college through events, fundraising, and awareness of the College of Human Environmental Sciences. The current group of members is an elite group who have generously volunteered their time and treasure to better our college for an astounding total of 193 years of service between them to the College of HES. 193 years, just these people on the screen, if you add all their years up of service to us. This certainly showcases the amount of love and dedication that our alumni have for HES. Our final Forever Friend Award is given to our 3 former deans. And I will physically be giving awards to all of these individuals when we see them in June. When I stepped into this role in August of 2020, I had no clue what the year would bring or what it entail, or unfortunately, that this would be the last year of the College of Human Environmental Sciences. These individuals have provided support and strength to not only myself, the entire HES leadership team, the many faculty and staff, not only during their times as deans, but also in the last year. I am forever grateful for their mentoring, encouragement, and passion for HES. Thank you again, B, Steve, and Sandy, for your love and passion over the years to HES, and I look forward to celebrating all of your successes when we hopefully see you in June. It is in recognition of the love and passion that our students, faculty, staff, and alumni have for HES that we are compiling a series of HES love stories. In the words of Hamilton, who will tell our story? We will. So we ask for any of you on this call or to spread it far and wide with our alumni, faculty, retired faculty, supporters, and friends of HES to create a 2-minute or less video to share with us your most important and most fond memory of HES. Our IDE committee has been working hard to create some ideas and things for us to commemorate HES, and we look forward to seeing all these videos. We are going to compile them and we'll be releasing them over the month of June. So please spread the HES Love Stories campaign far and wide so that we can see the stories for the love and passion for HES over the 121 years of its existence. I hope today has ignited your love and passion for HES and Mizzou, and that you will share your own personal love story for HES. I look forward to viewing them all, and I look forward to continuing to interact with you and all of our alumni as we continue to work at the University of Missouri and celebrate our departments in all of their new academic homes. Thank you for coming today. Once again, congratulations to our award winners. They are all so very much deserving. Forever, MIZ, HES. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming.
Well done. Just a beautiful service, beautiful ceremony. Thank you, everybody.
And John's off already, but 5 o'clock on the dot. Thanks, Ron, for coming. Thanks, everyone.